Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Here at Newcastle Fans TV. Hello, Gary. Hello, L. Stapleton. Hello, Gary, as well. Saying hello to each other. Welcome, everybody. It's match day. It's very rare that I do a live video beforehand. Obviously, I'll be going to St James's Park in the next couple of hours or so, but I thought I'd jump on and do a live since I've got a bit of time free here on Twitch and on YouTube as well. So if you're brand new, you know what to do, drop us a like. If you're existing, drop us a like. That'll help out massively. So obviously we're going to talk about the Lloyd Kelly situation as well. You can also see a barcode underneath me, which we'll come on to very shortly. And we've also got a little bit of other news to talk about as well, with obviously the PSR no beaches for any Premier League clubs. Latest on Martin Dubravka has gone a little bit cold. And also Newcastle United women have signed a player, but we're not allowed to reveal who it is. But we'll try and give you some hints maybe. Matt, I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, I'm doing well. Looking forward to tonight's game. Hopefully we'll get 9 wins out of 9, which is mental. Absolutely mental, isn't it? But let's jump on to the main talking point. And of course we will hear, well, I say here, we'll read out a quote from Fenerbahce a little bit later about Mr. Kelly, our defender. And what should we do with Lloyd Kelly? That's what I'm going to ask you, because we're in a situation where he's come on a free, not from Germany. And he's on quite a lot of wages, let's be honest. And there could be a chance to sell him, couldn't there? So let's bring up a couple of quotes which are coming from Luke Edwards, and exclusive at the bottom there. Newcastle reject a bid for Lloyd Kelly. So this was this is 16 hours ago, which is yesterday basically. Nowhere near the valuation. However, Fenerbahce are going to return. Well, whether Fenerbahce return with an improved offer remains to be seen. And obviously that's on the Telegraph. And then he's tweeted that today, saying, I can see why Newcastle, I can't even read today. I can see why people are saying Newcastle should sell Kelly, but the offers cover at 2 positions and can only enable you to strengthen. Fenerbahce's opening bid was too low, and it was an easy decision to reject. Hashtag NUFC. Keith Downey's also gone on to say the same thing. So obviously Mourinho is at Fenerbahce. Well, now that got a lot of ex-Premier League base players, if you look at their squad. And Mourinho's obviously dipping in the market where you could look at maybe squad players who potentially could strengthen his squad, even first 11 potentially. And Lloyd Kelly, I'm going to comment on my reasons what we should do with him in a minute, but hasn't had a lot of game time, has he? And we've got a lot of people coming back from injury as well. So it could be a great opportunity if the valuation is met that Newcastle could sell, and it'd also help with the whole horrible 3-letter word PSR. So evening, says Dylan. Yeah, I'm a season ticket holder, and the feeling of night games never changes. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to the neat. We do have, of course, the match reaction. We'll have the voiceover vlog over on NFTV Extra, and the last word will be out early in the morning, with it taking a few hours to edit. We're going to put out in the morning as well. Good afternoon, Frank. I hope you're doing well as well. Paul, hello to you as well. I hope Newcastle United sell Lloyd Kelly. We need some players off the books for PSR reasons. This is Choppy, sorry. Matt, again, the link is for YouTube to come on the show part. It would be a good bit of business financially, but you can cover the areas to be worthwhile assists while strengthening. And Zach's gone to say, hi Lee, what position should Newcastle be prioritised in the current transfer window? Right wing, possibly someone who can fill in striker. There's for me. Hi, where's the link so I can join the live cam with you as well. David's gone on to say, once the Premier League realises that the Sinister Six, especially Man United, Spurs, are being hamstrung by PSR and FFP, they'll scrap it with immediate effect as well. I actually thought that I put the link in the pinned in the description. I could have sworn I did, but perhaps I haven't. So maybe I'll have a little look and see if I can do that first for you. But of course, as I say, Lloyd Kelly then. So what do you reckon then? Do you sell him? Do you not? Do you keep him? We'll go through that in my reasons in a second. I'm just going to try and get you that link. I could have sworn that I put it in earlier today. Let me just mute myself. It's pinned in the live chat. We'll try and refresh that then. Let me just stick that back in for you. And that should be, I'll put it through as NFTV Extra. That link should take you to the green room. Let me know if that works. We'll come back to that a little bit later. Right. So my reasons behind selling Lloyd Kelly. I'm all for it. Not because I don't think he's a bad player. So let's have a little look at my reasons why it'd be good business if we sell Lloyd Kelly this January. So first of all, Newcastle have plenty of centre-backs fit right now, i.e. Botman, Fabian Schär, Bruyne, Kelly himself, and Alex Murphy. Also, we have left backs because obviously Lloyd Kelly can fill in left back as well. We also currently have left backs who are fit. Lewis Hall, Matt Target, Dan Burn who can play over there, Lloyd Kelly, and again Alex Murphy. We've also got two centre backs, Crafty yes can play a right back as well, who are also very, very close to returning. So there's more competition for places. Granted, they'll play on the right side of the defence. I do get that. But Lascelles and Kraft are almost back as well. And Kelly has just made 4 Premier League starts out of 20 possible in the league only. He said 7 in total, including Cup, but only 4 in the Premier League out of 20 games. Now, that would also, if we were to get him off the books, save a huge chunk of wages. There's a lot of speculation that he's on 150,000 a week. He's not. I can tell you that. The journalists will back that up. He's not on that much. That's just a rumor going around. He's on roughly about 100 grand. A lot of people are saying even that is still a lot of money to get off the wages, 100k for a squad player. We'll get a transfer fee, which benefits PSR. So that transfer fee should help then bring in money, but only if we sell it right. There's no point just accepting 5 million or something daft like that. You want to get the valuation out of him. So what's Lloyd Kelly really, really worth in your eyes at home? Probably 15 to 20 million, I would say. If you can get somewhere in that bracket, that's somewhere where I would probably look at and say, do you know what, that's tempting. But considering we got him on a free, there you go, and reinvest that money back into a January signing. There's no point selling them if you're not going to reinvest that. What's the point in that? You may as well wait until the summer. Now, obviously, it's a lot of poker face when it comes to transfers because you've only got to look at the Martin Dubravka situation. We'll come to that in a minute, but that is my reasons behind it. I am for Lloyd Kelly because you'll get first team football, Newcastle gets some money, reinvest the squad, and wages are off the books as well. Let's have a little pause to see what you are saying as well. We need to sell Miggy, in other words. Yeah, Paul, I do agree. The link doesn't work for me. I have it does work because I've got someone in the green room, so do check it out. Evening rate as well. Scott goes on to say 11 million would be a good fee, and Lascelles won't be here next season. Burn and Shea also nearing the end of their career. Well, I think Dan Burn's got another year left after this. There's a couple of little white lights going out. Dan Burn definitely has another year left after the season. Shea hasn't. Give me 50 million, I'll say yes, absolutely. Brian says, Kelly's nothing special. Alex Murphy, much greater potential. He's on a large wage, fourth choice at best. And McTalk's gone on to say, we have 2 centre-backs who are currently pushing 33. Don't sell Kelly now, sell Burn. Really? Dan Burn? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Dan Burn's been the best centre-back this season for me. No, I wouldn't sell Dan Burn. Not for me. I don't think we'll get much from either if we sold Dan Burn. Mr. Stapleton's gone out and say what would be the signing on fee paid for Kelly in the region of the year. I would imagine that'll be high to his agent and himself. I do agree on that as well. I don't know. I really don't know what that as well. Obviously, you can see these little barcode underneath me saying Scam Me, which is our new sponsor, which is, of course, Stocks FC. I'm going to have a little look at my portfolio for you as well. So these 3 players have just come into the market where you can invest in. I think Alisson Becker will be quite popular tomorrow when he comes out. We've also got Mr. Johnson from Ipswich and Kevin Sharder, who's been sold out as well. Last week, I got all of these in-player rewards and I'm earning money just for the players doing well, which is great. I'll probably invest a little bit more to get a bit more money back from that. And even Isaac didn't even play and I got money back because he's popular. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's really good as well. Of course, these are the in-play points as well, if I just get rid of that. Now, if you look at this, just for example, if you've watched the Forest versus Liverpool game last night, Matt Sells picked up 31 points. If you invested in Matt Sells because Forest are flying, you would have picked up a massive 31 points. And Robinson as well from Fulham, left back. He's banging in performances at the minute. 41 points. Phil Foden, 66. really high at the moment, so you can have a little look at that. There is a link in the description for you to have a little look at as well. So these are players that are doing really well. This is my portfolio. You can now see my balance, currently £94.54p, which is cool. And my total account value is £168, which is good. Alexander Isak, even though he hasn't even played, you can see I've got the most quantity in him. I've already made £3.89, and he hasn't even played yet because he didn't play in the FA Cup, did he? So, and Anthony Gordon as well has picked up a little bit because he scored that penalty on the weekend as well. A lot of my players haven't played, but Matthias Cunha is back and he'll get to be against Newcastle tonight. He's already picked up nearly £2 for me already, and he hasn't kicked the ball because it's based on how many people are putting money and investing and the performances as well. And speaking of performances, how do you obviously get points from Stocks FC? So in-player rewards, these are... I haven't even clicked on the wrong one. This is what happens when you are live. How they rank the scoring makes is brilliant. So you can see here, you can have a look at goals. You get 20, you get penalties saved, you get another 20. If he's on the winning team, another 20. A clean sheet, another 20. There's absolutely several that you can actually have a look at. Now, it's not all promising because if the player doesn't do that well, you've got to be clever. Because if he misses, dispossessed, or he receives a yellow card, or misses a penalty, or he concedes a penalty, or scores an own goal, you can receive minuses as well. So just be wary of that. I like it quite similar to fantasy football, but it's more like it's real life on here. You can also even get more rewards by if the players start to appear in team of the week, and you get these at the end of the week as well. So Semenyo scored a great goal, didn't he? Jota with a header. And these are obviously just from so far this week. This might change after tonight with tonight's fixtures coming into play as well. Team of the month currently in the minute. I didn't even click on there. We go Martin Dubravka still in team of the month because he's performing, keeping clean sheets, doing well. So he's the only, and Anthony Gordon, I nearly said he's the only Newcastle player. It's not Anthony Gordon is in there. You can also get team of the year. These are my players, as I say, that I've touched upon as well. I have a few. I'm waiting to see how they perform. I might sell me stocks as well to get me money back, or if they continue to do well, I will keep going and getting some more and more money and get me balance up at the top of the ticker. You can see all the players' values and what they currently are at the moment. So yeah, so there you go. That is Stocks FC. So do have a little look at that as well. To coin a phrase, I'm crap at fantasy football, so no thank you. Well, it's not fantasy football, must stress, but it feels like you're actually getting something more out of it because it's based on real life as well. And yes, so Sells has been keeper of the season, to coin a phrase. Interesting on that. Didn't Kelly come out in the interview and say that he was getting nowhere near 150k? The journalists have said that. Champion. So that was Stocks FC. If you want to have a look at that, you will also receive 5 free loans, and they'll obviously get you points. Points equal money. Happy days. Have a look. Won't cost you anything to do that. Let's get back to the video on what I want to keep going on about. For the next pieces of news, of course, Newcastle United and the rest of the Premier League none of them have been found guilty of PSR breaches for the financial period between 2021 and 2024. I guess that's good news for Newcastle. Of course, come this summer, that's 73 million from 3 years ago that we went out of the club. That'll be wiped, and PSR will then restart again for the 3-year cycle. So I guess that's good news. Of course, we've seen it in a couple of the company houses that the club, Reuben Brothers or PIF, one of the two, probably PIF, have put a bit of money back in to the club, which seems to happen every year, which they are allowed to do, help with bills and wages and so on and so on. But I think that's no club, and I couldn't get my head around it, and not just because nobody's been found guilty, but then so surely, obviously, the likes of Chelsea have got to be on the cusp. Leicester have already been looked at. We know that the Manchester City are on there as well. Man United could be close. They're having allegedly PSR issues as well. So, I don't know with that. I really don't know. I have to wait. There is a full list of what those charges are against Man City currently at the moment. So, yeah, so have a little look at that. Mukhtar's gone and say, I get Dan Byrne is a Geordie. your love, but he's only good at defending crosses. He can't catch any striker thanks to his speed. He's also horrible. We won't get a market from next year. See, I know, but if we sold him now, for example, how much do you really think, Mukhtar? Tell me, how much do you think we can get for Dan Burn right now? For me, he's the best defender alongside Lewis Hall this season at the club. At his age, I don't think it's much more than 10 million. And you'd be daft to do that. I think you really would be daft to sell Dan Burn. I really do. We should sell the stacks. Comment of the day. Comment of the day. We'll do it with Chelsea. We'll sell the stuff to ourselves. Can we sell the women's team as well whilst we're there? The clone lad's gone out and say we should sell the stack to ourselves for 100 million. Yeah, we'll just move the goalposts. That's what we'll do. Matt's gone out and say we're surprised that none were that, but I think ourselves and Villa are definitely close to the line in June. We were. And obviously Villa have just got Mielin from Dortmund, who's a great buy, by the way. Fantastic buy. We were after right wing. I wouldn't go amiss in my team, to be fair. Paul's gone out and say I think the Premier League have bent the rules for Man City. Well, we'll see what happens with the charges. PSR rules only apply to clubs outside the Big Six. Yeah, Gary's gone to say Leicester are not scot-free yet. Last year's accounts are in the stumbling block as they were in contact with the EFL over the jurisdiction as well. Yeah, spot on. I do agree on that. If you do want to come in, remember there is a link in the chat. There's also a link pinned, and there's also a link on NFTV Extra inside this live chat. If you do want to come on, we do have someone waiting in the background, which we'll talk to them once we rattle through the news as well. Okay, then. So we'll go on to the next pieces of news, which of course, what's the crack with Martin Dubravka at the minute then? So, you look about you look at 7 or 10 days ago, Martin Dubravka was effectively heading out of the club. And currently, in the moment, he looks like he's actually staying, doesn't it? Obviously, Eddie Howe has been talking on the presser. Well, not this one, but it was the one before it, wasn't it? He was talking to the presser saying that he wants him to stay and he wants him to sign a new contract. Now, that doesn't mean that Martin Dubravka is not leaving the club, because he may have already agreed a deal to actually leave the club. You might go in the summer. That deal could have already done. It's just that, do they want to accelerate that in the minute with Dubravka? Do they want to try and get him early? But there is speculation now that Al-Shabaab are actually looking at a different goalkeeper. I think they're looking at Galachi from Leipzig, and I'm sure they're looking at Dynamo Kiev's goalkeeper as well, one of the Ukrainian keepers. So I guess we'll have to have a little look out of that, in all honesty, with Martin Dubravka. So I think, in all honesty, if you put me on the spot, I think it'll go right to the wire. I think it could even go to deadline day. What happens? I think for me, it depends on if Nick Pope is fit by the end of January. But also, does Nick Pope deserve to come straight back in? Could he keep Nick Pope out? Let's say Dubravka goes past deadline day. Could Dubravka keep Nick Pope out of that lineup? Because we've got a potentially big game. Well, it is a big game, let's be honest. A massive game against Arsenal and potentially a cup final. So it's interesting to see. It's also interesting what he does tonight with the two centre backs. So so we'll see on that as well. So we'll have a little look also at a couple of other news in a moment, but I do want to highlight that the girls, the lasses, have signed someone. Now, we're not allowed to actually tell you what it is, which is mental. It is actually mental, but what I can tell you is that she's obviously in a Chelsea shirt there, so that gives you quite a big clue. She was at the game on Sunday for the lasses. She was also printed on the media stuff for the press. Obviously, I wasn't there because that did clash, of course, with me being obviously the men's Bromley, but Joe obviously cottoned onto that as well. So we do know who is signed. There's one or two people have got it right. It's not that difficult to work out who we've actually got, to be honest with you. So you can work it out. Chelsea player being out on loan. it's not that difficult to work out, to be honest with you, but we can't really tell you, to be honest. But there we go. We'll have a look at see what you say in the comment, and then what we'll do is we'll have a look at some other news that is flying around, and then we'll start bringing some guests. Why not? Why not, indeed? Right, Newcastle should force the way in the top six, says Paul. Well, we could do it. We really could do it this season, and Dylan's going to say, I just hope when Pope is fit, he doesn't just get his place back. I think it needs to be merited. I think it needs to be granted. I think it needs to earn that right, I think, because Dubravka has been absolutely fantastic as well. And Paul's gone on to say, I've heard Leicester City after the FFP and PSR infringement. The Premier League predicts they will be playing in the Loughborough District League Division 3 next season. Yeah, Loughborough's not that far, isn't it? It's more famous for the Union at Loughborough. So let's have a little look at some news. Who should we use the day for the timeline? I think we might should we use the Chronicle for the day? Why not? Let's pull it up for you. So we'll go through some of the news that is flying around the club today. So obviously this is on the Lloyd Kelly situation. And obviously Fenerbahce we've got a quote for that in a second. Eddie Howe's gone on and talked about Vita Pereira, of course, a big game tonight. We've talked about that's top of the show. We've got Wolves on the horizon, more videos to come than eat. And that was the £73 million boost. I was just briefly mentioned that'll be from the third year of the PSR, which will drop off. So it means that Newcastle effectively should have an extra 73 million to spend come the summer. Dusan Vlahovic being linked to several of clubs. He'll not be coming to Newcastle. I can't see that. Right, this is the one about the Fenerbahce. So this is coming from, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation with the Turkish name. So this is from Fenerbahce's Vice President, Akun Ilak, I want to say. We're in talks for Lloyd Kelly transfer. He's a player we're interested in. If we can reach an agreement, we will transfer this player. So they're coming out. And he's not the only one, because Charlotte FC come out and said that massively dropped a bombshell that they would love to have Miggy, which was Christian Fuchs at Charlotte. But now Fenerbahce coming out saying that they're in talks. Now, I don't know if that's miscommunication being sent there, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But again, with the whole Lloyd Kelly situation as well, with the club looking around about 15 million, get 15 million for Lloyd Kelly, we're doing it. We are absolutely doing that. We're not going to talk about Jay Brothroyd's opinions on Newcastle because it's irrelevant. And Usman Diomande, what a player this lad is. If Newcastle's still only 21, Ivory Coast International, if Newcastle will get him, loads of people want him. He's unbelievable. Nearly 80 appearances already in 3 years in Portugal. Young lad, big things expected of him. He'll get a big move sooner rather than later, without a shadow of doubt. A little bit on Match of the Day, obviously. Toon fan Gabby Logan's been announced as a joint presenter alongside Kelly Cates and Mark Chapman. So they'll be rotating between the Match of the Day 2, and the Champions League highlights that they have. But Gary Lineker is still going to be doing lives. Alan Shearer, of course, is still a pundit. The Lewis Smiley one, the Newcastle are confident they won't be forced into selling prize assets in order to meet PSR regulations this summer. That's not going to happen, because obviously that 73 million is going to go, of course. And we knew that the whole carry on with Elliot Anderson and Yakuba Minter last summer was a bit of a joke. Paul Merson's prediction, we're not going to go about that. Paul Merson's irrelevant. I don't know why he's getting the limelight there. And of course, this is more on Lewis Hall. Alan Shearer's bigging up Lewis Hall massively on the rest his football podcast with Mika Richards and Gary Lineker, and a lot of Isaac praise. We know that, and obviously there is the title. Well, the top 4 chances. Newcastle are currently 6-4, which is a 40% chance, but realistically, top 5 should get your Champions League this season. It should, but you never know, because England were in the top 2 and towards I think it was the semi-finals, we dropped out the top 2 of the coefficiency, didn't we? But there you go. We'll have a little look at what you guys are chatting about before we bring in guests. We do have Callum waiting. If you do want to come in, now is the time. If you want to have a little chat with us, I didn't bite you now. Right, Lee's gone out saying Newcastle to finish second. That is a big call. What's the odds on that? That must be pretty high. Gotta be. But you never know if we win the neat. We're 3 points off Forest, is it? Off the top of your head? Pretty decent, you know. That'd be pretty decent odds if Newcastle would finish second. Hopefully Liverpool will lose Mo Salah. And Mo Salah, what a player. Hasn't he just gone like that? all them assists, all the goals this season. Unbelievable. A lot of you are chatting to each other, which is great to see, the community and all that, which is fab. Ronnie, Pope cannot walk straight back at the team if Dubravka carries on his current form and stays. He has grasped his opportunity. I do agree. I also think it'll be interesting to see what he does. Does Sven Botman come straight back in the net? Or does Dan Burn drop the bench? Does Fabian Schär drop the bench? It's got to be interesting to see who starts to centre back the net. And would you sell Longstaff? Personally, I wouldn't until the end of the season, but I know a lot of people would. Longstaff also still has, we believe the club have already done the extension. They haven't officially announced it, but I think Longstaff, I think that's been done behind the scenes where Longstaff has another year after the summer, so he's got a year and a half left. It's that profit word, isn't it? That horrible profit word that Newcastle can do. He's one of the graduates, a bit like Elliot Anderson. So for me, I want to see more of Lewis Miley's towards the second half of the season, and then we'll see if the club decide if the big comes in for a lad who's if Tonali, Joe Litton, and Bruno are all fit, and even I'll put Willock in there. Longstaff doesn't really play that much, does he? But you never know with injuries. You do need squad players, and I think Miley needs to step up for me. Do you think we'll get a right winger and a centre forward? Give Isak a rest. He plays too many games for us, says Chris. Do you know what? I don't. In all honesty, I've got no real optimism that Newcastle are going to splash the cash this January. I can't say it. I would love to be proven wrong. I'd like just to transfer randomly, come out of the blue and get it. Maybe a loan to buy potentially. There's no has there been any real concrete link, like proper real something behind it? There hasn't, has there? And you know, in the summer you always get the crap with, oh, we're linking this player in Turkey, we're linking this player in France, we're linking this player in Spain. There hasn't, and it's a lot of shite, let's be honest. But even in January, the transfer links have been quite slow. There hasn't been as many gurgitated crap, has there? But even the ones that we are, there isn't any real truth to it. The only truth that we know is Charlotte speaking out about Miggy and Fenerbahce speaking out about Lloyd Kelly and probably Dubravka. Al-Shabaab want him. Is there anything real apart from that? Probably not. No. Hi, Lee. I hope you're doing well, mate. I am. Thanks, Shez. If Isak is injured tonight, please not Anthony Gordon. Do you see Anthony Gordon upset in forward? Or do you think Eddie will give Asula a start? Asula will not start. He'll not start, mate. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be Gordon if Isak doesn't make it. I think Isak should be, fingers crossed, be all right. We'll have to wait and see. We've got another game on Saturday, haven't we? There's a game every 3 or 4 days at the minute, which is mental. And that'll slowly slow down a little bit. Obviously, the Lasses are now back in action as well, so a lot of content coming on the channel. Got to say, Asula might be raw. I think he is some. I got to say, Asula might be raw. I do think he has something. Yeah, Sunday's goal proved that. You can see Bruno and Big Joe are talking to him on his wing. Hope you're doing well, Lee, and also and Les also. Oh, we're talking about Les Ferdinand here. One of your Les's. Ferdinand's just over there because I'm just. He's tilted his head because I've said his name. Right, let's get Callum on. He's been waiting patiently. Callum, how are you, pal?
To you?
Ooh, you went in and out. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, spot on. Talk to me about some of the transfer speculation. I'll start off with is Dubravka staying?
I was still. Sorry. I say he's still staying.
You think he's going to stay, do you? I'm just going to reshape your camera a little bit so it's in shot. There we go. There we go. I would agree. I think Dubravka is staying. What about Lloyd Kelly's situation? Would you sell him or would you keep him?
So I was between 8 or 10 million.
You would take him for about 10 million. I think if we did sell him for that fee, I would put a clause in for add-ons to try and get a little bit more. If he makes, I don't know, 50 appearances or a sell-on fee, or if he gets an England call-up or something like that, I put some add-ons in there with Lloyd Kelly. So, and if we were to sell him, let's just say we didn't bring anybody in, but we took that deal. Are you comfortable with the cover that we have? It's centre back currently at the moment.
No, I think we still need a new sign, a good centre back. We need a couple of young ones, somewhere between 2025, but who knows?
So you would reinvest that in a centre back straight away?
Yeah, because I know them. Both our players are in the too older age. So we need a current young players that come to our club to centre back.
For me, if we sell Lloyd Kelly for 10, 50 million, whatever, the money that we got from the Gahey deal that we didn't actually sign, and the money from Kelly, I'll go and get that right winger. Because I think we've got enough cover at centre back for me now with Kraft, Lascelles just about return, Botman's back, Burns back. You've obviously got Fabian Schär as well. You've got Alex Murphy, youngster, waiting in the wings as well. Yeah. So I would personally keep that. I'll just come to read a couple of comments. Paul says, yeah, I forgot about salons and contracts. Yeah. Something that we can get money out. We've got to do it nowadays. Haven't you? You've got to have all these clauses. Kelly for 10 million. I don't think you'll get any Premier League proven centre back for that anywhere. Probably not. You're probably right, Gary, but it's what would Gary let us know what would you sell
Hmm.
realistically for Lloyd Kelly, and what would you realistic fee for a lad who's started 4 games out with 20? He's on high wages as well. Are you surprised that no other breaches, Callum, for PSR in the Premier League?
I'm happy they didn't no PSO. At the end of the day, again, what's going on with Man City, where they're gonna get a charge after FAP World? They did say the confirmed date, but they didn't say where. Well, when they're going to tell us when you know, what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Michael's got to say, my bad, I meant your Ferdinand. I'm not actually Les was in the comments. Yeah.
Oh,
On a side note, I think we need to get Ruddy and Gillespie off the books. I think, I think there's a few goalkeepers who are free agents: Dubravka, Ruddy, Gillespie. I think one of those three will stay, though. I think it might be Gillespie. I think Gillespie might stay. I don't know if Ruddy might be kept on and all, but I don't see the point in John Ruddy, in all honesty. Maybe a goalkeeping coach. I really don't know. I really didn't know. But Ferdinand is he's just on the sofa over there, tilting his head again. But Dubravka, obviously we've talked about as well, haven't we? 12 to 50 million, Gary says 12 to 50 million for Kelly is a good price, 50 million for Longstaff as well. And obviously the Lasses have signed somebody as well. I'm going to put you on the spot about the Lasses. Will Newcastle United women get promoted this season?
how amazing they do.
Do you think they will, though? I'm putting you on the spot now.
Mm, I'm going to say no. Maybe next season.
Yeah, I mean, the fifth in the league, fifth or sixth, no, I think the sixth in the league, with a game in hand, of course. So if they win that, that puts it right in the league's very tight. You've got Sheffield United, of course, this weekend, which will be a Bramall Lane for that on the Sunday. Expect Newcastle to win that because Sheffield United are struggling. And all right. Before I let you go, Callum, any other thing you want to bring up?
I'm going to say to enjoy the game later. See how we go against Wolves.
Yeah, it is. It's not a million miles away from you, is it, Wolves? It's the other side in
Yeah,
this.
no, yeah, that's right. Not far, especially when we're against Birmingham for FA Cup. I wish I to go there and see you. So I'd love to see you in face to face. I would be shaking. What I mean, you can do. I got borderline autism. That's I'd love to see talk.
Oh,
Have
we
the
didn't bite.
photographs.
Sam might bite mind. Sam's a bit
Oh,
grumpy sometimes.
okay.
Sam's a bit grumpy. I see him. He's actually up here the night. So thank you very much, Callum, for popping on. Appreciate that once
Eh,
more.
same to you, Lee, and see you next time. And then hooray the lads! Come on,
Oh, we're the
let's
lads
be
indeed.
Wolves. Come on.
Indeed. Thank you very much for Callum for coming on. Right, if you want to get your score predictions in, now's the time. I think we'll win the NEAT. Will it be dominating? No, I don't think it'll be dominating. I don't know why. I just get that feeling. I know it's under the lights and what have you. I think the atmosphere will be good though. Looking forward to the atmosphere. I think it might be a bit shaky. Obviously, Cunha's back as well. So, as I say, if you're going to invest in the stocks, scan me, because I would probably go for Cunha. But I think we'll concede. I've got to say 2-1. 2-1 to 2. I think we'll concede. I don't know why. I just think we can't always keep clean sheets every single time in the league. I think the law of averages we will concede, but I think it'll be 2-1 to 2 now. I'm going to gam for. And then obviously Bournemouth as well at home on Saturday, haven't we? So we've got, and I do like the fact that because we were away to London, Manchester, then London. I was knackered. I fell ill and everything. But I'm pleased that there's 3 home games on the bounce. There's not much travel. I literally live 5 miles from the ground, so thank God for that. But yeah, I'll read some of your comments up before we wrap up as well. Matt's gone to say, yeah, looking forward to being there Sunday. I'll catch up with you, Matt, for the women's game then. March is going to be a big month. Durham away. Yeah, Durham away might clash, touch the wood, if Newcastle do get to the cup final of the Carabao Cup. They play on the same day. I'm looking for 15 million, says Gary. Pure profit for Kelly. How much he goes for? Yeah, we didn't spend a fee, did we? And Jonathan goes on to say, well, I say pure profit. It's not really, because it's spread over the contract length, isn't it? In terms of agent fees and what we've paid for him, bonuses and the wages over the contract length, isn't it? That's how it's done, isn't it? It's spread, isn't it? I think you're on the right lines. It hasn't cost us much to have him on a free. I think we can get a fee for Kelly, and then it's almost a no-brainer, says Jonathan. To get something and get the wages off the books is two birds, one stone, and Krath is more than decent at centre-back. I have a ticket for that night. Enjoy it. 3-1, says Paul. Gary, do we have anything to fear tonight? If we play well as a team and don't drop levels, I'm going for 3-1. Cool, good scoreline. 3-0. Ronnie's disagreeing with me. I'm saying 2-1 the tune, but yeah, 3-1. 5-0, Elliot. Elliot just comes in with a bomb. Bang. 5-0. Thank you very much. He'll be loving himself, Denise. 3-1, says Jim. And does anyone want to stay at Everton to stay up? No, I don't. I would like to see the stadium in the Championship. I don't know why I'm whispering that. But to be fair, I'd actually like to go to their new stadium as well. So I don't know. 5-0 is optimistic, says Paul as well. Fantastic. Of course, so as a reminder, what we'll have coming up on NFTV Extra. There's been loads of videos on NFTV Extra, by the way. If you haven't seen it, if you're not subscribed, why the hell not? We're doing loads more videos on there. So have a look at that. We've also got the Footballers Live. I've done a couple of lives on my new channel, as well as the randomizer of footballers. I'm going to do another one on that probably later on. On this channel, Denise, we're going to have the match reaction. And then we've also got the last word. That'll go out in the morning because it's a long video. It's 4K. There's loads of graphics involved. It takes about 3 or 4 hours. So I'm going to do that in bed. Denise. So that'll go out first thing in the morning. Drop us a massive like if you can. That'll be wonderful. We're going to wrap up. Hopefully, the next time you see us on the video, which will be probably Sam for the match reaction, make sure you drop us a like, and hope you've got 3 points and we are climbing. Yo, up that Premier League we go. Right, love yous and leave us, everyone. I'll see you all, and ta-da.